In B2B sales, I've helped businesses to generate multiple seven figures without spending a single dollar in ads. To be more specific, I've helped this Korean distributor to bring e-com brands all over the world to the Korean market. And some of these brands were doing 8 or 9 figures a year and even managed by some massive companies like P&G or L'Oreal. To be honest with you, I didn't do any of the fulfillment or operations, but I did manage the entire sales cycles from lead scraping to contacting the leads, booking calls, do triage calls, as well as the negotiation calls to ultimately close that deal. So the method that I'm about to show you is applicable for any businesses that are trying to land their first client or the next 10 clients or to scale even further. No fluff, no ad spend whatsoever, just pure cold outbound proven method that works for any business. So if you're trying to increase your revenue by acquiring the clients, this video is for you, and just make sure that you watch until the end of this video. So without further ado, let's get into it.
All right, so just to make this entire procedure easier to understand, I'm going to walk you through the demonstration and the explanation with the visual aids. So for any business to acquire the client and to fulfill the service, the first step is to find the right leads, right? So-called lead scraping. Nowadays, like online tools are very useful, and I actively use online as well to find the right client. The 3 methods that I've been using are the following. So the Google is a great method. So if you're, let's say, a marketing agency who's trying to land a client locally, you can literally type your location's name and the restaurant or the location name and like an e-com brands or tutoring centers or hospitals or whatever the leads that you're targeting on Google. And Google literally show you all the contact details, including the emails and the phone numbers and whatnot, right? The second method is to use the VA. This is my favorite method, especially if you're targeting the prospects that's outside of your region. You need to do further research, and you can just simply go to Fiverr or Upwork to find the VA that are used to these type of lead scraping method. And once you give them the criteria as in, okay, here's the top 100 leads that I'm looking for. In terms of the size, it must do the revenue of more than 100K a year. I want them to be established 5 years ago, something like that. You can give them a criteria and they'll find the leads for you. They'll put them into the Google Sheet and you have the perfect leads that you can target in like a day or so. Final method is to use the Instagram. So if you, let's say, go to your dream client's IG page on Instagram, there's this function called suggested account, and it will show you all the social media pages that are similar to your dream client. For example, if I type like Frank Green on Instagram, which is like a water bottle brand from Australia, and if I click that suggested account, it will show me all the global water bottle brands on Instagram. That's how you can find out the leads as well. So use these 3 methods to come up with the lead list first. That'll be the first step. And the second one is the outbound methods. So in total, we've got 4 different methods, which are email, Instagram DMs, LinkedIn, and cold call. I've been using these 4 methods actively to increase the chances of landing a client. Because if you think about it, like if you just use the email, you're not really maximizing the outbound outreach method, right? It could be, the business that actively check the Instagram inbox, or it could be the business owner who's active on LinkedIn, or it could be, that the business owner is actually taking all the inbound call. So you never know. So you really want to tap into every single method of these, which I'm going to show you in detail in this video. And then I cannot emphasize enough, like the data-driven approach. So from the sales management perspective, it's not just about doing your best to make things work, right? You need to be able to find out what's working and what's not working. So I personally use Pipedrive for my CRM, but you can use like HubSpot or Salesforce. But these type of sales tools will show you the KPI or the insight in visual diagram instantly. So this is one of the campaigns or like outreach campaign that I've been running for business. As you can see, we've got 1.5K leads that we've sent in the cold emails. And then the next step was to send the Instagram DM. So from there, 1.25K leads out of 1.5K were contacted via Instagram, and then cold call, and then LinkedIn and whatsoever. And then you can ultimately see that 104 leads attended the meeting, and 137 separate leads were about to attend the meeting. So based on what I can say, that's about like 250 leads roughly that I'm able to book calls and do the meetings, which is not a bad ratio, right? So 250 out of 1,500, that is a healthy ratio, more than 10%. But what I can see here straight away is that yes, up to Instagram DM, like everything is optimized, but the cold call is not happening actively. So I need to get my reps, setters to do more cold calls, right? To ultimately increase the chances of landing a client. But so far, like this one looks good. So you need to, once you have the lead list, as well as once you have the CRM in place, it's very important to actively reevaluate and refine your outreach method based on the data, right? And then the last one that I wanted to show you is the social proof. So this one is really important because any business that you target, they're gonna check your site, whether it's your website or your Instagram page or your LinkedIn. So you need to make sure that you establish this authority in the online space so that before you even do the call, the prospect or your future clients know, okay, these guys are the expert, and so I'm gonna attend the call, right? If you don't have a website, if you don't have Instagram, it's just like cold approach from a stranger. And we don't want that. Like, we want the prospect to be sort of like warmed up before the call, even if it is not inbound leads through the ads, right? By establishing this authority in the online space, we can sort of like warm them up. The serious clients who are ready to pay for your service will do the extra research in the online space, and they will have a look at your site, Instagram page, to see the previous work that you've done or your credentials on your LinkedIn. So just make sure that your website, IG page, as well as the LinkedIn are all dialed in. Okay guys, so let's start off with the email. So by now you should have all the leads that you want to target, and the first method will be to send the cold emails, right? Obviously, we don't want to do cold email manually, because imagine you need to contact 1,000 leads and you send the email separately every single time from your Gmail account. It's going to take ages. So we're going to use some AI tools to automate this entire procedure. The first tool that I'm going to use is Clay. This platform is by far the best platform that I found to find the decision makers' contact details in the online space, because it is integrated with the multiple different data sources such as like LinkedIn, Apollo, obviously the Google, and all the other like cold outbound platforms. So what that means is, let's just say if the HubSpot does not find the decision makers of your dream company, it will go to the next data source to use the second data source to find the decision makers' contact details, right? So that means like the chances of you finding the decision maker's contact detail is maximized from this platform. You do need to subscribe for the platform, and you do need to spend quite some expense, but I definitely think it's worth it if you're gonna go all in. So as you can see, like I put the filters, data information in this platform, and it instantly found out the decision makers' emails as well as the job title, right? I've actually created a separate video going through how to put the data into specific filter. So I'm gonna leave that link description down below. But Clay should find you 70% of the decision maker's contact detail. Now, AI nowadays is not perfect, and there would be 30% of the leads that AI won't be able to find the contact details. So in that case, we move on to the Email Finder. Again, Email Finder is by far the best platform that I found that find pretty much every single available online email address that has existed before, right? So for example, if I type like a massive company Like, I'm just gonna use Frank Green as an example. So let's grab their URL, and once I put that in, it's gonna pull up all the emails that is available in the online space. So all you need to do is to download this email file, right? Yeah, as you can see, like I put all the email data, and then the way that you find the decision maker from here is this. Okay, so when you use this email finder, like they're not gonna match that email with the decision maker, meaning you need to still find out the decision maker's name. What you can do is you can simply type it on Google, like Frank Green decision makers. And it shows you who the decision maker is. So Ben, he's like founder and CEO. But this specific brand, it doesn't really give you the full picture of who the decision makers are, right? So in this case, you need to go to the LinkedIn and then go to their page, right? Frank Green page. And then simply look at the people who work for the company. So there are 108 people associated with this company on LinkedIn. I can see that Paul is COO. Let's see who other important decision makers are. Here we go. Dan is the managing director. So far we've got Paul, Dan, and Ben, right? So now we go back to that Excel sheet, and then you simply find Ben, right? There we go. There's Ben. And let's see if the Paul's email is there. There's Paul. So you grab these email list, and then you're gonna put that into Instantly now. So I've just shown you how Clay automatically find the 70% of the lead's contact details, and then the remaining 30% you need to do it manually using Email Finder, Google, and LinkedIn. So after you complete these procedures, you should have another Excel spreadsheet of the entire brands or the leads contact details, as in their email addresses, right? Okay, so the final step is to set the cold email campaign. You need to create the email account first, but it's super easy on Instantly. All you need to do is just click that add new, and they actually provide done for you service. So you can click that one, and then you can, type your domain's name, and they will warm up your email accounts for you. So within 14 days, those email accounts created by Instantly would be ready to go. So let's say you have the email accounts, right? Now it's time to set the email campaign. So you click that campaign, you click add new, and then just follow the step. You add all the leads that you have, which are the email addresses of those brands or leads that you found through Clay and Email Finder. And then you put your copy in here, and then you send the email. And then, any reply that you get, you'll all be in Instantly. So you don't have to bounce between like different Gmail accounts. All the emails will come to here, and you can reply the email, and you can book calls from there. Okay guys, because I've actually promised you that I'm going to show you A to Z of the cold outbound, I'm actually going to show you how to write the email copy as well. So let's just say you are a marketing agency. So I'm just going to say my company name is Eom's Agency, right? And then my service is to increase the revenue of the company through Google Ads. Okay. So with the email copy, there's a couple of different components that you really need to think about. Obviously, you need to introduce yourself in a concise, catchy way, but you need to include your social proof, as in like what you've done in the past, how you're capable of providing the service, and also some of the benefits that you provide to the businesses, right? So I'm going to start off with by hi, first name. Remember, now you have the contact details of the decision makers, so you know the first name of them, right? And then I'm going to say, hi, first name. My name is Michael from Eom's Agency that helps businesses to increase their revenues through paid ads. To be more specific, Google ads. All right, I'm just making this up. And then you want to say social proof. So just to give you more details, we've helped 435 different e-com brands to increase their revenue by 3 times simply from optimized SEO marketing. Some of our clients are UGG Boots, Frank Green, and let's just go for Nike. Obviously, guys, don't lie here because people can actually tell. Like, you're not gonna make your way through it just by lying. You need to include the facts here. So here's the thing, right? Let's just say you're acquiring the client for the first time, like you've never had the social proof, but there's a different way of phrasing this. So instead of saying like you've had 435 different e-com brands, you can say something like, I have this experience of working as a consultant over the past 12 years, and this is something that I'm really passionate about. Like, you can make something up, right? With the facts though. So what I really want to highlight is don't lie. But using the same fact, there's a different way of framing things, right? If you don't have the social proof, you can highlight your experience because you must have done something. If you're a sales rep, I don't know, if you in the past worked in the retail, that is still experience in sales, right? And then this month, we are offering the first month paid ads for free, paid ad service for free, to show how we are capable. Is this something that you are interested in? Kind regards, Mike. And then, guys, after 2 to 3 days, you really want to make sure that you send the follow-up email. So say something like, hi, first name, may I please know your thoughts on this? Boom. So this is a simple email copy that you can write. Obviously, you want to do the A/B testing. When I say A/B testing, try multiple different angles. So this one is heavily dependent on the social proof. But if you, let's say, want to test this angle where you talk about the specific case study, then you can bring up your previous client's name and you can talk about the method that you've used. For example, with the SEO marketing, you can say something like, I've helped this specific client whose name is Frank Green with the SEO marketing, and the way that we did that is we identified the top 20 keywords beforehand and ran the SEO marketing on a daily basis by posting like multiple different blogs, something like that. So you can focus on the social proof or you can focus on the case study, whatever it might be. Just make sure you do the A/B testing. All right, so the next method is Instagram DM, right? As I said, make sure that your Instagram page is designed properly. So this is the Korean company that I work with, which is Family Link. By the way, if you're an e-com brand that is watching this video, make sure you reach out to me because we've helped tons of e-com brands to not only get into the Korean market, but we've helped them scale them to 7, 8, 9 figures. And we have a really good connection, so make sure you contact me. But in terms of this video, which is all about the cold outbound, you want to make sure that, as you can see, your landing page, which is your Instagram page, is nicely designed, right? So I decided to demonstrate the previous case studies that we've had, and I've included some of the press our co-founder team has featured in, also, some more other social proof. But you want to make sure the very first step for the Instagram DM is to create a proper landing page. It has to look professional. And once again, guys, because I promised that in this video I'm going to show you everything that is required for cold outbound, I'm gonna write like a quick copy that you can use for the Instagram DM as well. So let's keep using that marketing agency example, right? So you can say, hi, first name. This is Michael from Eom's agency. I just came across your company and thought your service, right? You want to personalize it here a little bit. Don't just say service, you actually want to include their specific service's name. Came across your company and thought your service really help other people in a meaningful way. We actually provide SEO marketing services for the businesses and thought we could really help you to increase the positive influence that you have to others. Is this something that you are interested in? Cool. And the same thing, after 2 to 3 days, guys, just make sure that you include that follow-up DMs, which is going to be just bumping this up. And then include the smiley face, right? So that is the Instagram DM. Now let's move on to the LinkedIn. Okay guys, so LinkedIn is pretty straightforward. I mean, I've already shown you how to find the decision makers of the company. So you can use that method to find the decision makers first. But what I want to say is make sure you use this sales navigator. So typically on LinkedIn, you cannot send the direct messages to people who you don't know or people who you're not connected to. But this sales navigator extra subscription allow you to send the DM straight away, even though you're not friends with those people. So make sure you sign up for that. At the moment, as far as I know, they give you 50 email credit, which means that you can send 50 DMs to the decision makers. Because it's limited, right? I don't use this method as a primary method to contact the decision makers, but LinkedIn, I mean, if you really want to optimize it, you want to use it. So let's just say if there is a prospect that I really, really want to do the business with, I use LinkedIn to make sure that my message of wanting to work with that business is transferred to that decision maker. So if I, let's say, still using the same example, if I want to target Frank Green, on Sales Navigator, I can go to Frank Green and I can see all the people that work for the company. That's Frank Green UK. So I'm just going to go to the Frank Green main page. And boom, here are all the people that work for the Frank Green. And with this one, you can be more use your strategy, right? So let's just say Paul, Benjamin, and Rob. I've already contacted them via emails. And then if they don't reply back to me, then I can contact the next level decision makers, right? It could be the managing director, it could be head of operation, it could be the growth operator. You want to basically do everything that you can in your power to make things happen. So if the top decision makers are not replying to your messages, you still want to target the decision makers that are, I would say, the second tier, right? If you really, really want to work with this company, and if the second tier decision makers still don't reply back to you, you can still target like customer service rep or general manager or even like content creator. It depends on like how bad you want it. I wouldn't recommend unless you it's like a really important deal, but this is another option that you can use for sure. And the copy wise, just use a similar copy to the Instagram copy that I've shown it to you in this video, and make sure that you also send the follow-up message after 2 to 3 days. All right guys, so the final outbound method that we're going to be using to land more clients is cold call. Cold call is by far, in my opinion, the best method to land a client because you can directly talk to the decision makers, whether it's business owners or head of sales or something like that. Now, with the cold call, I've actually created the separate YouTube video of walking you through how to do A to Z with the live call example. So I would say check out that video. But in this video, I'm going to walk you through how to maximize the opportunity, the chances of you landing a future client by going through some of the framework. So for my client, let's say a Korean distributor, what I do is I really try to focus on grabbing the prospect's attention within the first 10 seconds. So I say something like, okay, so here's the example. Let's just say I'm calling Frank Green. Hey, is this Frank Green? Hi, my name is Michael from Family Link. How are you today? And then the next question that I'll ask is gonna grab their attention instantly. So I say something like, I'm giving you a call to see if I can buy your water bottle in bulk, as in like 5,000 units. Do you do export? Now this question will grab their attention because for the brand, they need to sell it. And if someone is calling them and say, I'm about to buy your product, obviously they're gonna be hooked. So this is the way that you can grab their attention, and then from there, you can introduce yourself more in detail and you can talk about the service that you provide. Now I know this is an easy example, so let's go through a different example. Let's just say you are a marketing agency and some of the clients that you're trying to land are a restaurant. You can do the exact same thing. Hey, is this Beep Chicken? Hi, my name is Michael from Eom's agency. I'm just wondering, like I was looking at your site, is Saturday and Sunday your busiest time period? And then they'll be thinking, right? They'll be thinking, okay, is this guy trying to make a booking for our restaurant, like it's in reservation, right? So you can see how this will grab their attention. It's not necessarily lying or deceiving either, because from there, what you can do is, okay, I'm giving you a call to see if you guys are running any ads because I can increase your customers on the days when you don't have a lot of customers. So you can make the next pitch or the thing that you're gonna say linked to that attention grabbing question, right? But I'm gonna show you the entire script, sort of like the framework that you can use, because obviously like if you're a big business, you can just hire a setter who's been doing this for a long time. But if you're a business owner who's doing this by yourself, it can be tough, but it just comes down to the rep. So let's go through the framework together. All right, so here's a setting script that you can use as a business owner or setter. So first of all, you need to open up the conversation, right? So you can say something like, hey, is this restaurant? Hi, Kim, it's Michael. Quick one for you. Is Friday, Saturday your busy night, or are you pretty solid across the whole week? As I said just now, you need to grab their attention, right? So this is sort of like an attention grabbing question, and then you want to transition to interest. The reason why I call is I had a few minutes and wanted to reach out to see if I could help you get more customers coming through the door consistently. Let's say if the prospect or the restaurant owner is being like a bit of a ass, or he's trying to hang up the phone, you can ask a shorter version of the question, which is like, are you currently running any paid ads? Or quick question, are you happy with how many new customers are finding you online right now, right? So that is sort of like how you transition from the hook question to the interest. And then when you do this, right, you want to make sure you use like probing and clarifying questions. So when the restaurant owner says, not a lot, you want to say, not a lot? And then they'll elaborate on what they mean by that. Or if the restaurant owner said, no, I haven't like used the paid ads before, and you can say something like, how come? You basically want to open up this chance for him or her to elaborate on further, so then you get more information throughout the call, yeah? And then you could dig deeper by saying like, what else have you tried to bring in more customers or grow revenue? How long have you been posting on social media? Or are you currently doing, or what have you tried to get more customers in the door? Like these type of group questions is always good questions to allow the business owner to talk about that problem, because we're here to solve the problem. And so the more problems they talk about, the easier for us to ultimately provide the solution and ultimately to book a call, which is our goal when it comes to cold call, right? Qualification. So say we found something that could actually get you more consistent weeknight traffic. Is this something you'd be willing to put some budget behind, right? So you're qualifying it, because let's say the restaurant owner is on the call, and if he or her is like, if he or she is like, oh, actually, like I thought this was just like a advisory type of call. Like, I'm not willing to spend any money. Like, that would be a disaster because you'll be wasting your time. So you want to pre-qualify if this business owner is ready to spend some budget. Yeah. And then the booking the call part, like, got it. That's helpful based on what you told me. This is exactly the kind of thing we help. I've got my calendar in front of me. I could jump on a Zoom for 20 to 30 minutes sometime in the next day or two. Would you be open to that? And when you try to actually book a call, this is really important. You don't want to give them too many options because they'll be thinking and they can say something like, oh, actually, I need to think about it to actually schedule the time. You want to make this booking procedure as smooth and as easy as possible. So, perfect, I can do tomorrow at 7 p.m. or Wednesday at 10 a.m. Which one works for you, right? They have to choose one way or the other. Makes it easier, right? So once they say, okay, I can do it at 10 a.m. on Wednesday, awesome, you're all set. Can you just double check if you've received the invite? So you want to make sure that they've received the invite during the call, not after the call. And then to finalize the call to actually increase the show-up rate, you want to send them personalized resources. So one more thing, would it be helpful if I sent over a quick case study showing how we help another restaurant increase their customers count? Just so you can see the kind of result we generate and who we work with. And that's it. And you can close the call. So it's pretty simple. I mean, it doesn't have to be perfect. As a business owner, like, if you are so passionate and so genuine about helping other businesses to increase the revenue, this should sort of come across naturally, right? And with these scripts, it's at the end of the day, numbers game. So, if your offer is too good, you land your client within like first 10 calls. But if your offer is not that good, and if there's so many different competitors of yours, you might have to do 100 calls, but you will eventually land the client. It's the numbers game, right? And then the more you practice this cold call, the better you get. So I highly recommend you to give it a go. All right, guys, so that was the entire 4 outbound methods that you can use as a business to acquire more clients and to ultimately increase your revenue. I hope the information that I put it in this video helped. Now, if you want to work with me, you can book a call with me using the Calendly link in the comment section, or you can send me an email to my Gmail account. But regardless of that, like, I just love to provide values to these businesses because helping businesses to increase the revenue is what I'm passionate about. So if you are looking for these type of information, make sure you click that subscribe and like button down below. And in the next video, I'm going to come up with a different video providing different value, more value, and I will see you in the next video.